Recording in progress.
If the data is processed by the process of data processing, that becomes information. Here, this one is the information. So see here, just now I have given some examples. These are all directly non-usable things. If we arranging them in particular manner, that is becoming bike, that is coming from non-usable thing to usable thing. Similarly, data is unprocessed one, it is not in meaningful form. Okay, if this data is processed by the process of data processing, that becomes meaningful form. So it is becoming from non-usable thing to some useful thing by the process of data processing. Okay, so from these points, you can understand that what is data? Data is a raw means not in particular order, not in meaningful form. Data is a raw collection of facts about people, places, and things. So these are the facts related to the people, places, things. Okay. So just now we have seen person related facts. For example, employee ID is 1234. Okay, this is fact related to the person. Okay, employee name is Kiran, fact related to the person. Employee salary is 6,000, facts related to the person. So these are the facts related to the person. This is data. Facts related to the places. For example, length of the place is 56 feet 7 inches. Okay, breadth of the place is 97 feet 4 inches. So length of the place, breadth of the place, okay, name of the place. These are the facts related to the places. Length, breadth. Okay, so these are the facts related to the places. Next, similarly, facts related to the things. What is the color of the thing? What is the price of the thing? What is the weight of the thing? So these are the facts related to the things. So the facts related to the person or places or things is called data. Is it in meaningful form? No. These are just facts. These are just raw facts. Those are not in meaningful form. If we arrange them in meaningful form, what it is becoming? It is becoming information. So what is data? It is a raw collection of facts about people, places, things. Is this point clear? Okay. Next, this data is unprocessed one. Data is unprocessed one, means it is not in meaningful form. This data is unprocessed one. This is not processed one. It is unprocessed one. Unprocessed one means it is not in meaningful form. It is not in meaningful form. Okay. Then what is information? Information means if the data is arranged in meaningful form, if the data is arranged in meaningful form, it becomes information. It becomes information. If the data is arranged in meaningful form, that becomes information. This information is processed one. It is processed one, and it is in meaningful form. It is in meaningful form. Okay. So sometimes interviewer may ask like this: what is the difference between, what are the differences between data and information? Data means that is a collection of raw facts. Okay, information means if data is arranged in meaningful form, that becomes information. Data is unprocessed one, that is not processed. Information is processed one. Data is not in meaningful form. Information is in meaningful form. Data does not improve knowledge of person because data is not in meaningful form. He cannot take decisions. But whereas information, with the information, he can take the decisions. Information improves knowledge of person. So these are the differences between data and information. So what is data? It is a collection of facts about people, places, things. Okay. Is it processed one or unprocessed one? This unprocessed one. Is it in meaningful form or not in meaningful form? It is not in meaningful form. What is information? If data is arranged in meaningful form, we are calling that as information. Okay. Is it processed one or unprocessed one? Information is processed one. Is it in meaningful form or not in meaningful form? Meaningful form. Information will be in the meaningful form. Okay. So see, is it clear about data and information? Okay. Now see, listen. In the data, two types are there. In the data, two types are there. Types of data. How many types of data are there? Two types are there. What are those? First one is structured data. First one is structured data. Second one is unstructured data. In the data, two types are there. What are those? First one is structured data. Second one is unstructured data. Structured data means structured data is made up of with letters, okay, digits and symbols. Okay, so this is made up of with digits, letters and symbols. That's it. Okay, for example, we are taking like this. We are taking student ID. Student ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, only digits are there. This is what structured data. Okay, student name is Ramu. Okay, only letters are there. This is structured data. For example, we are entering house number 1 dash 2 dash 1 2 3. In this, letters are there, symbols are there like dot and hyphen. Okay, like 1 2 1 2 3. Okay, so here this is called what? Structured data. If the data is made up of with letters, digits and symbols. If the data is made up of with digits, letters and symbols, we call that as the structured data. Okay, second one is unstructured data. Unstructured data means, okay, images, audios, videos, documents, these are comes under unstructured data. Okay, audios, videos, images, documents, these are comes under unstructured data. So in the data, two types are there. What are those? One is structured data, another one is unstructured data. Structured data is made up of with letters, digits and special symbols. Unstructured data means audios, videos, images, okay, and documents, all files are comes under unstructured data. So Oracle supports to structured data only. Listen carefully. Oracle supports to structured data only. Oracle does not support to the unstructured data. Oracle supports to structured data only. It does not support to the unstructured data. Okay, if you maintain unstructured data, for unstructured data also, here the data will be stored as structured data. For example, I want to maintain image in the Oracle. Okay, image means binary data will be there, zeros and ones. That zeros and ones will be stored in this database. Okay, so here images means we store as structured data, we maintain in the form of zeros and ones only. Oracle supports to structured data only. Oracle does not support to the unstructured data. Okay, so this is about types of data. So till here, what we discussed, I am giving overview here. Listen. So we discussed about what is data, information, differences between data and information, and types of data. Okay, what is data? Data means it is a collection of raw facts. Okay, that may be related to the person, or that may be related to the place or thing. Okay, these are not in meaningful form. These are unprocessed one. If we arrange them in meaningful form like this, by the process of data processing, if we arrange them in meaningful form, that becomes information. In the left side, what is this 25? We are not understanding. So this is data, not in meaningful form. Here, what is 25? Student ID, we are understanding clearly. Here, what is Ramu? We are not understanding. Okay, is it student name or faculty name? Okay, we are not understanding. But here, we are understanding clearly. This is student name. Here, what is this 500? We are not understanding. But in the information, very clearly, we are understanding that 500 is marks. So if this data is processed by the process of data processing, that becomes information. Data is not in meaningful form. Information is in meaningful form. Data is unprocessed one. Information is processed one. Okay. And next, we discussed about types of data. In the types of data, two types are there. One is structured data, another one is unstructured data. Structured data is made up of with letters, digits, and symbols. Unstructured data means audios, videos, images, and documents. These are comes under unstructured data. Okay. Now see, the next term is database. So what is this database? Listen. You can say database is a collection of interrelated data. You can say database is a collection of interrelated data in an organized form, in an organized way or organized form. Here I'm using the term organized, means it is in meaningful form. Database means database definitely contains in meaningful form. So that's why I'm using the term organized here. So database is the collection of interrelated data, and that is in meaningful form. See, you can understand like database means complete details about an organization. For any organization, database is very, very important. Am I correct? For any organization, database is very, very important. Am I correct? Yes. For banks, they must maintain their customer details. They must maintain their transaction details. Okay, they must maintain their loans details. Okay, for colleges or universities, database is very, very important. Like they must maintain student details, their marks details, their fee details. For any organization, very database is very, very important. Even for us also, database is very, very important. We are maintaining database in our mobile. Am I correct? We are maintaining database in our mobile. You are storing contacts information. You are storing person name, his contact number, his home number, office number, his mail ID. Is it not database? That is a database. That is in meaningful form. That is in organized form. So for anyone, database is very, very important. Even for us also, for companies also, database is very, very important. So database means you can understand like it is the complete details about an organization. Okay, so what it contains? It contains interrelated data. It contains interrelated data. For example, I'm taking college database. I'm taking college database. So in the college database, what they maintain? They maintain student details. So the student is the table here. In the student table, they're maintaining student ID, student name, student city, student contact number, student information they are maintaining here. And student is writing the exams and he is getting the marks. Student is writing the exams and he is getting the marks. So they are maintaining marks in another table like student ID, marks of subject 1, okay, marks of subject 2, and marks of subject 3. Like this they are maintaining. So here student is writing the exams. So this student and marks here interrelated data is there. For example, here student ID 1001. Student ID 1001, some person name, so and so city. So the same person is attending the exams here and is getting 70 marks in M1, 80 marks in M2, and 60 marks in M3. Is it not interrelated data? Is it not interrelated data? Yes, this is interrelated data. So database contains what? Interrelated data. Is it in meaningful form? Yes, it is in meaningful form, and here interrelated data is there. Can we say this as the database? Yes, this is the database. Okay, so this is one college database. One college database. Okay, so like this, they maintain library details, fee details, scholarship details, etc. So the complete information about an organization, now you can say this as a database. Okay, I'm taking one more example to understand clearly. See, for example, Amazon website is there. Amazon website is maintaining database. So any online shopping database is maintaining like this, online shopping database. So they are maintaining product details. So they are offering the products. Okay, so they are offering product details, like what is the product ID? Okay, what is the product name? Okay, what is the quantity in hand? Okay, so what is the item price? Like this, they are maintaining product details. Okay, so who is purchasing these products? Who is purchasing these products? Customer is purchasing the products. Customer purchases products. We are the customers of Amazon. We purchase the products from Amazon. So now Amazon website has to maintain our customer details. So they maintain customer details like customer ID, customer name, customer address, etc. Okay, and they maintain customer is placing the order. Customer is placing the order. Okay, so customer is purchasing the products, so he is placing the order. They are maintaining order table, like what is the order ID? Okay, and what is the customer ID, which customer ordered? Okay, order ID, which customer ordered, which product he ordered. Okay, so like this, on which day he ordered a date. Okay, what is the delivery date? So like this, Amazon online shopping website is maintaining the database. So these are the complete details about that website. So you can say this is one database. Okay, so customer is purchasing the products and customer is placing the order. So here interrelated data is there. Customer is placing the products, customer is purchasing the products, customer is placing the order, customer is ordering products. Okay, so here interrelated data is there. Okay, so this collection of interrelated data and which is in meaningful form, that is called what? Database. What is database? It is the collection of interrelated data in an organized form. Okay, let me explain more about database. Listen carefully here. See, this terminology is very, very important. Whenever you are referring the books, or whenever you are referring the websites, they may use this terminology. So listen carefully here. Just now we have seen that database means that is the collection of interrelated data. In the Oracle, we maintain database in the form of tables. For example, here one table is there, customer table is there. This is a table. In this customer ID, customer name, customer city, customer contact number, etc. This data is there. Okay, so customer name and customer city, like this data is there. Listen carefully here. See, so in this customer ID, customer name, customer city, these are the column headings. Here, what is this customer? Customer is the table here. What is customer here? Customer is the table. Then what is table? Table is a collection of rows and columns. Listen carefully here. A table can be also called as relation. See the terminology. Here customer is the table. A table can be also called as relation. Relation, or you can say table. Okay, so what is table here? Table is a collection of rows and columns. What table contains? Rows and columns. So rows and columns are there. What a table contains? only rows and columns will be there. So here customer ID is column. Customer name is a column. Customer city is a column. These are the columns. This 1001 Arun HYD, what are these? These are the rows. Okay, so here these are the rows. 1001 Arun HYD, 1002 Kiran Mumbai. These are the rows. So here how many rows are there? How many rows are there? 2 rows are there. How many columns are there? How many columns are there? 3 columns are there. Two customer records are there. 2 rows are there. How many columns are there? 3 columns are there. This collection of rows and columns is called what? Table. Okay. Now see here. In this, okay, this customer city is what? Just a minute. This customer city is what? This is a column. This column can be also called as, see the terminology. Terminology is important here. This customer city is the column. A column can be also called as, property. Property, this is a property of the table. Okay, or you can say this as the attribute, or you can say this as the field. Different authors may use different terminology. Sometimes he may use attribute term. Sometimes he may use field term. Sometimes he may use properties term. Okay, sometimes he may use columns term. All are same. So columns can be also called as attributes or fields. Okay, or properties. Okay, this is the terminology. Next. Then what is this column? What is this field actually? Field means field holds individual values. What is field? Field holds individual values. Field holds individual values. See here, customer city means that holds only city names. Okay, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, Goa, Chennai, like this, only city names that is holding. All are individual values. Okay, mobile number means that is holding only mobile numbers. Okay, customer ID means that is holding only customer IDs. Okay, state means that holds only state names. Country means that holds only country names. All are individual values. Field holds individual values. Every column holds individual values. Then what is this rows are? This row can be also called as, see. Now here 1002 Kiran Mumbai, what is this one? This is a row. This one is called a row. So a column can be also called as property, or you can say attribute, or you can say field. A row can be also called as, tuple. A row can be also called as tuple, or you can also call this as entity instance. You can also call this as entity instance. Okay. So what is table? What is table? Collection of rows and columns. Rows and columns will be there. Okay. What are rows? Row means row is the collection of field values. What is row? Row means row is the collection of field values. So row, you can say that as the tuple or entity instance. Okay. So it is a collection of or set of field values. It is a set of field values. It gives complete information about the person or place or thing. Record gives complete information about the person or place or thing. In your mobile, you are maintaining contacts. Okay, you are maintaining contact number, is email ID, okay, is land phone number, is office number, and his address, like this you are maintaining. This is one record, belongs to particular person. So record gives complete information about the person or place or thing. Every record gives complete information about the person or place or thing. Whereas field holds individual values. Field holds individual values. Field holds individual values. Contact number means that holds only contact numbers. Okay, student ID means that holds only student IDs. City names means that holds only city names. So column holds individual values. Record gives complete information about the person or place or thing. Record is the collection of field values. See here, 1002 is there. Is it not field value? Is it not field value? Yes, this is one field value. Kiran is there. Is it not field value? This is one field value. Mumbai is there. Is it not field value? Yes, this is a field value. All these are what? Field values. This collection of field values we are calling as row, or you can say this as the tuple, or you can say this as the entity instance. Okay, so here customer city, customer name, customer ID, what are these? These are the columns. Here customer city is the column. Column can be also called as property, or it can be also called as attribute, or you can also call this as field. Okay, now this customer is the table. Okay, so table is the collection of rows and columns, whereas field means this holds individual values. Okay, row means that is the set of field values. Is it clear? Is this terminology clear to you? Okay. So a database contains, listen carefully. A database contains these records and fields only. A database contains records and fields only. Records means what? Rows. Fields means what? Columns. Database contains tables. In the tables, rows and columns will be there. Listen carefully. One more important point I'm talking. In the database, two types are there. In the database, two types are there. What are those? First one is OLTP and second one is OLAP. First one is OLTP and second one is OLAP. Okay, see here. First one is OLTP and second one is OLAP. There are two types of databases are there. One is OLTP, another one is OLAP. What is this OLTP and what is this OLAP? Listen carefully. See here. So OLTP stands for online transaction processing. Online transaction processing. OLTP stands for online transaction processing. OLAP stands for online analytics processing. Okay, OLTP stands for online transaction processing. OLAP stands for online analytics processing. Okay, see here. So why we are using this OLTP? OLTP is used to perform day-to-day operations. To perform day-to-day operations, we use OLTP database. Okay, this OLTP is used to perform day-to-day operations. So to perform day-to-day operations, organization use OLTP database. Okay, this OLAP is used for analysis. Okay, it is used for analysis. This OLTP database is used for analysis. This OLAP database can be also called as for data analysis. We use it. This OLAP can be also called as data warehousing. Okay, or you can say decision support system. Data warehousing, or you can say decision support system. Okay, so in this we maintain historical data, whereas in the OLTP, what we are maintaining? Day-to-day operations. We are maintaining day-to-day operations. Only day-to-day operations we are maintaining in the OLTP. Whereas in the OLTP, we maintain historical data. Here we maintain historical data. So in this, we maintain historical data. Okay, from the organization establishment to till present. complete historical data will be maintained in the OLEP. For example, if organization is established in 2015, from 2015 to till today, 2021 till today, okay, that database will be stored in the OLEP. Whereas in OLTP, only recent data will be there. Okay, for example, banks works on financial year. Okay, financial year is the current data. Okay, financial year, okay, from April to March, from April to March. So that is current data for them. Okay, so that data, that current year data will be there in the OLTP. Remaining data will be stored in the OLAP. Okay, so this OLTP is used to perform day-to-day operations. For example, when new customer is opening the data, they will insert the record. When new customer is coming and he is opening the account, what they will do, they will insert the record. I'm calling that as C. C means create. They create the record. Okay, okay, customer is opened the account and in his account some balance is there. He wants to check his balance. He wants to check his balance. Means he reads the data from the existing database. That is, I'm calling as read operation. R means read operation. Okay, so customer is depositing the amount. Customer is depositing the amount in his account, or he is withdrawing some amount from his account. Means that he has to update the data there. In his account, 1 lakh amount is there. He is withdrawing 20,000 amount. A balance must be modified as 80,000. Or in his account, 1 lakh is there. He is depositing 30,000 amount. Account balance should be modified as 1,30,000. Okay. So this operation I'm calling as update operation. I'm calling this operation as update operation. So if new customer is joining, we are creating the record. If customer wants to check the balance, is reading the record. Okay, if customer is withdrawing or depositing, okay, modifying the record. And customer is closing his account. Customer is closing his account. Now he is not customer of our bank. We delete the record. So these operations are called CRUD operations. These operations are called CRUD operations. So to perform CRUD operations, we use OLTP. Here we perform day-to-day operations. We perform CRUD operations here. So CRUD operations will be performed here. CRUD operations will be performed. CRUD operations will be performed in. CRUD operations will be performed in OLTP. Whereas here OLAP, the name itself is giving the meaning. Online analytics processing. For analysis purpose. For analysis purpose, we use this. For data analysis to make the decisions. So here just we perform, already data is there, just we perform only one operation, read operation. So here we perform only one operation, read operation only. Here we perform only read operation, that's it. Okay, so to perform day-to-day operations, which database we are using? OLTP. Okay, so inserting records, updating records, reading records. Okay, so all CRUD operations we are doing with OLTP only. Whereas in OLEP, already data is there in the database. Historical data is there. For analysis we use. Already data is there means we retrieve that and we do analysis. For example, if there is business company, in the 2016, what were the sales? In the 2017, what were the sales? Okay, in the 2018, what were the sales? At that time, what are the strategies we followed? What are the offers we have given? So why sales are more? Now why sales are less? Like this database is helpful to take the decisions. So that's why this one we are calling as decision support system. Okay, for example, in the news we are seeing some so and so director or some so and so hero or so and so character artist. Okay, he got notice from the crime department in the drugs case. He got some notice from the crime department. He has to submit his account transactions to the crime department. His account transactions of 2007, his account transactions of 2018. Is it not historical data? is historical data maintained by the bank. Okay, so that database comes under OLAP. Now today we are withdrawing the money, today we are depositing the money, or in this month or in this financial year we are doing the actions. These are comes under OLTP. Okay, so day-to-day operations are comes under OLTP database. Okay, historical data comes under OLAP. In the OLTP, we perform CRUD operations. In the OLAP, we perform read operations. Okay, for analysis purpose, we use OLAP. Okay, from the establishment of organization to till present, complete data will be stored in the OLAP. Just current year data will be stored in the OLTP. Okay, so this is about OLTP and OLAP. Is it clear? Okay, DSS stands for Decision Support System. DWH stands for Data Warehousing. Now listen carefully. Now you know the three terms now. You know what is data, what is information, and what is database. So data means that is a collection of raw facts that is not in meaningful form. If that data is arranged in meaningful form, we are calling that as information. So we maintain this information as database. The database contains tables. Tables contains records and fields. So table is the collection of rows and columns. Rows are called records, or tuples, or entity instances. Columns are called attributes or properties. Okay, or fields. Okay, or attributes. So this is the terminology. Now you know what is database. All terms you know. It contains interrelated data. It contains records and fields. Now we want to create the tables now. We want to maintain the database now. We want to maintain OLTP. We want to maintain OLAP. So to maintain like this, one software is required. To maintain the database, to create and maintain the database, one software is required. That software is called DBMS. That software is called DBMS. So our requirement is creating and maintaining the database. For any organization, database is very, very important. Even for us also, database is very, very important. We want to create and maintain the database. To create and maintain the database, one software is required. In your mobile, you are maintaining contacts information. Okay. Are you not using contacts app? Are you not using contacts app? Yes, we are using contacts app here. In your mobile, contacts app is there. In that add new account, add new number, like this option is there. You are selecting that one, you are filling the data, and you are clicking on save. That is saving the contact. So you are saving the records. So to save the records, you are using one software. To save the database, to save your personal database, you are using one software. Like that, here also, if you want to create and maintain the database, we are using the software. That software is called what? DBMS. So DBMS stands for Database Management System, or you can say software also. You can say Database Management System, or you can say Database Management Software. So what is the use of this software? See, listen carefully. Okay, why we are using Photoshop? What is the purpose of Photoshop? For editing the photos, we are using that one. What is the purpose of Acrobat Reader? For reading the PDF files, we are using Acrobat Reader. Okay, so like this, for every software, one particular purpose is there. If our requirement is reading PDF files, we are using Acrobat Reader. If our requirement is editing the photos, we are using Photoshop. In our mobile, if our requirement is paying online payments, we are using PhonePe or GPay or Paytm, such type of softwares. So every software has its own purpose. Now, what is our requirement? Our requirement is creating and maintaining database. So to create and maintain the database, we are using one software that is called DBMS. So this DBMS is a software. DBMS is a software. Okay, it is a software. Why we are using it? It is a software that is used to create and maintain the database. That is used to create and maintain the database. Database means you already know. Database contains tables. Tables contains rows and columns. So our requirement is creating tables. In the tables, we want to maintain rows and columns. So such type of collection of tables I'm calling as database. So we want to create database and maintain the database. So to create and maintain the database, we are using one software. That software is called DBMS. So DBMS is the software that is used to create and maintain the database. So if you want to create the tables like product table, customer table, order table, and in the columns, in the records, we have to use one software. That software is called DBMS. Okay, see, listen carefully. So once upon a time, before 1960s, I'm talking about before 1960s. Okay, so before 1960s, we were maintaining database manually in the papers, in the books. Listen carefully. Before 1960s, we were maintaining database in the books. So why before 1960s? Because till that time, they didn't develop any software for business. They didn't develop any software for business. Okay. So when computer introduced in the 1800s, who introduced? Charles Babbage. Okay. So after that, he didn't introduce any programming language for computer. Just he developed hardware. Charles Babbage developed hardware only. He didn't develop any programming language for the computer. But Charles Babbage was sharing his thoughts with his friends. So one of his friends understood complete computer architecture. He developed a machine language. Means we write code in the form of zeros and ones. Till 1940s, from 1800s to till 1940s, we were using machine language only. We were writing code in the form of zeros and ones only. Later, in the 1949, assembly language came. Later, in the 1956, Fortran, first high-level language came. That is for only for scientific related softwares. That is only to develop the scientific related applications. So till here, no business related softwares are there. So the first programming language introduced for business applications is COBOL. When COBOL introduced in the 1959, in the 1959, COBOL introduced. So before 1959, they were not storing business data in the computer. Okay. So they were using for some other related fields, but they were not using for business. So in the 1960s, they started to store the data in the computer. At that time, they were using file management system. So this file management system introduced in the 1960s. So before 1960s, they were maintaining data manually in the books, in the papers. From 1960s, in the 1960s, they started to store the data in the files. There is a first software to store the business data in the computer. That is file management system. Later, this has some drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? In the next session, I discuss. So later, they introduced hierarchical database. This is one database management system. In the DBMS, hierarchical databases are there. We maintain database in the form of tree structure. It has also some drawbacks. So later, they introduced network related database, network database, hierarchical database, the network database they introduced. So in the 1970s, we were using, okay, these are used in the 1970s. These were used in the 1970s. Okay, so later in the 1976, one mathematician, E.F. Codd, introduced relational database concept. He introduced relational database concept. So now from here onwards, database became successful. This relational database is successful. Network is unsuccessful. Hierarchical is unsuccessful. File management system is also unsuccessful. These are all unsuccessful. So in the 1976, E.F. Codd, one mathematician, he introduced this relational database. He told that relational database means we have to maintain the database in the form of tables. He introduced some rules. 12 rules he introduced. We must follow these 12 rules. Any relational database management system, any DBMS software must follow these 12 rules. Otherwise, some problem will get. So like this, he announced one relational database model. So slowly that became fame. Okay, in the 1980s, companies were maintaining these relational databases. So later they came to relational databases. Okay, so in the 1980s, companies started to maintain the relational databases. Okay, later to this relational databases, they added object-oriented concepts that became object relational database model. Okay, so in the 1990s and present also, we are using this object relational databases. So this is the hierarchy evaluation of database management systems. So before 1960s, what was the situation? We were maintaining database in books, the papers. Manually we were writing. Okay, later in the 1960s, they introduced file management system, but it has some drawbacks. Later in the 1970s, companies started to use hierarchical and network model, but they are also having some drawbacks. They were not following these 12 rules. We were getting some problems. So later in the 1976, EF Cord introduced this relational database model. He introduced 12 rules. So this relational database model is successful. Okay, so companies started to use this relational database model in the 1980s. And after that, to this relational database model, they added object-oriented concepts. Okay, so the main advantage with the object-oriented concepts is reusability and security. So they have taken reusability concept from object-oriented concepts, they added to DBMS. Those became object relational. So later again we discuss what are the drawbacks. Okay, again we discuss, just I'm giving how databases came. So here DBMS means not only these relational databases, hierarchical also comes under DBMS, network also comes under DBMS. Okay, relational, object relational, all these are comes under DBMS only. Okay, so now this hierarchical network, these are not that much important. We have to know about relational database management system, means RDBMS. Okay, so what is RDBMS? RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. Relational Database Management System. Okay, so it is the software in which we maintain, we maintain database in the form of tables. We maintain in the form of tables. So RDBMS is the software. Why we are using it? To maintain, to create and maintain the database we are using. But in this, we are maintaining in the form of tables here. Relational database means we must maintain in the form of tables only. Relation means what? Table. Relational database management system. The name itself is giving the meaning. We must maintain the database in the form of tables. He introduced 12 rules. In the 12 rules, first rule is we must maintain database in the form of tables. Okay. So here we are maintaining database in the form of tables. So RDBMS is the software. That is, we are using to create and maintain the database, and here we are maintaining database in the form of tables. What are the examples for RDBMS? Like we are using Oracle. This Oracle is the RDBMS software. Like Oracle SQL Server is there. It is also one relational database management software. Okay, so like this MySQL is there. Okay, PostgreSQL is there. PostgreSQL. Okay, DB2 is there. Okay, DBase, Sybase, Informix, like this, thousands of relational database management softwares are there. Okay, so we are learning Oracle. Our Oracle is the relational database management software. Why we are using it? To create and maintain the database we are using it. Now I'm explaining the purpose of Oracle. So what is Oracle? Oracle is a relational database management software. Okay, so this software is used to create and maintain the database, used to create and maintain the database in the form of tables. In the form of tables. Here we are creating and maintaining database in the form of tables here. So that's why we are calling this as relational database management software. This software allows us to store the data. We can store the data. We can manipulate the data, and we can retrieve the data of database. We can retrieve the data of database. So these database operations we can perform. Like simply you can say CRUD operations. CRUD operations we can perform here. Okay, here store. What is manipulate? Manipulate means the single term is equivalent to add, delete, and modify. For adding, deleting, and modifying the data, we are using the term manipulate. For example, employee joined in the organization. What we do? What we do? We delete the record. Employee got promotion. What we do? We modify the record. For example, what new customer came to the bank? What we do? We add that record. Okay. Customer is closing his account. What we do? We delete the record. Customer is performing transactions. He is withdrawing the amount. He is depositing the amount. What we do? We modify. So for all these three terms, I'm using single term here, manipulate. Manipulate means adding, deleting, and modifying. Okay, so we can store the data, we can manipulate the data, means we can add, delete, and modify, and we can retrieve the data. Retrieve means opening existing data. For example, customer is checking the balance. That is retrieving the data. Okay, retrieving means opening existing data. Opening existing data. That's it. So what is Oracle? It is a relational database management software. In this software, we create and maintain the database. Here we maintain the database in the form of tables. Okay. This software allows us to store, manipulate, and retrieve the data of database. We can store the data. We can perform manipulations like adding, deleting, and modifying. And we can retrieve the existing data. Okay. So I'm stopping the session here. So till here, I'm giving the overview on today's session. Listen. What we discussed in today's session, just I'm giving quick overview here. See. What is data? It is a collection of raw facts that may be related to the person or place or thing. So collection of raw facts is called what? Data. Okay, this data is unprocessed one, means this is not in meaningful form. If we arrange this data in meaningful form, we are calling that as the information. If the data is processed by the process of data processing, that becomes information. Okay, so data is unprocessed one, information is processed one. Data is not in meaningful form, information is in meaningful form. In the data, two types are there. One is structured data, another one is unstructured data. Structured data is made up of with letters, digits, and symbols. Unstructured data is made up of with images, audios, videos, and documents. Okay, what is database? It is a collection of interrelated data in meaningful form, in organized form, means it is a meaningful form. Okay, so like college database, okay, online shopping database, these are the examples of database. So in the database, what database contains? Records and fields. What database contains? Records and fields. Okay, so rows are called, what is table? Table is the collection of rows and columns. Okay, row can be also called as tuple, or you can say entity instance. Okay, column can be also called as property, or you can say attribute, or you can say field. Okay, so in the database, two types are there. One is OLTP, another one is OLAP. To perform day-to-day operations, we use OLTP. To perform analysis, we are using OLAP. Okay, DBMS means to create and maintain the database, we are using the software that is called DBMS. In the DBMS, many DBMS softwares are there, like hierarchical DBMS, network DBMS, relational DBMS, object relational DBMS. Okay, all latest database management softwares are RDBMS, almost all. Okay, object relational also, you can say object relational also. Our Oracle is the object relational database management software. In this we maintain database in the form of tables. Okay, the software allows us to store, manipulate and retrieve the data of database. Manipulating means adding the data, deleting the data and modifying the data. Retrieving means opening existing data. Okay, so our course is Oracle. Our course duration is 3 months. Our course duration is 3 months. So daily 1.5 hour class will be there. Okay, so daily 1.5 hour. Daily 1.5 hour class will be there. So duration is 3 months. Daily 1.5 hour class will be there. In this course, you will learn what is SQL and what is PLSQL with depth knowledge. Okay, in the SQL is providing some sub languages like DDL commands, DML commands, DCL commands, TCL commands. Okay, so like this, it is providing some sub languages. We discuss them. After that, we discuss about tables, how to apply the constraints regarding tables completely we discuss. And next, set operators will be there. Okay, giants will be there. Giants. Okay, writing subqueries. Okay, so like tables, views are database objects. How can we create the views? Materialized views. Okay, indexes. Okay, synonyms, sequences. These topics we discuss in the SQL. These are the major topics. In the PLSQL, we discuss the basic programs. After that, control structures. Okay, after that, how can we create the procedures? How can we create the functions, triggers, exception handling? Okay, how can we work with the files? How can we store the image data, unstructured data in the Oracle? Okay, so this is the syllabus. In the SQL and PLSQL, we discuss all these things. Okay, so these are the major topics. And also subtopics also we discuss. Syllabus is available in the website. You can refer. Okay, I'm stopping the session here. Thanks to all. See you tomorrow. Notes. Note this. Okay, otherwise, I will give notes tomorrow. Okay, I will give notes tomorrow. Okay, session is over. We can leave the session. Thanks to all. See you tomorrow.